Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we're the Castros.
And it's a Friday morning.
Yes.
Weather is improved. Thank you, Lord. The sun sumilip si haling araw kanina.
Kahit papano.
Kahit papano.
Pero sabi nga nila may mga namamataan pang mga weather disturbances
We have to be
outside
prepared.
our Philippine area of responsibility.
But
Pero later, kausapin natin taga-Pag-asa.
Taga-Pag-asa. But aside from that, we're monitoring other stories. Of course, si Mayor, former Mayor.
Napuyat ba ang lahat sa pagdating ni...
Sa akin naman kasi insignificant yung actual videos ng arrival. Basta I want to see ano yung magiging statement niya because sabi ni Abalos, Secretary Abalos, they're empowering former mayor to speak out.
Pero yun nga, iba't ibang mga litrato ang kumalat sa social media at saka yung video nila nung nagkita sila ni DILG Secretary Abalos.
Sumagot daw si Sec Abalos dyan.
Oo, meron siyang reaction.
Left his mic open daw kasi he's documenting. Baka sabihin ko ano pinag-usap.
Talaga.
Anyway, madami pa tayong pag-uusapan. Of course, we're also monitoring Apollo Kibuloy issue.
Yes, hindi pa rin yan tapos.
So let's get...
Kayo na lang po bahala ang...
humusga kung ano yung number one.
Anong number one, number two. Pero lahat yan nakalatag po.
And of course, since it's a Friday, kasama natin ang Buddha's Belly, our very good friends from the Buddha's Belly Cuisine Restaurant.
Ang tawag dito?
Hakaw.
Hakaw, my favorite.
Spare ribs.
Spare ribs, chicken balls,
and fried chicken. And fried rice, of course.
Okay. Yan ang ating brunch for today kasi medyo gutom na tayo dahil dami natin mga balita at saka issue today.
Okay, we're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee. This is brunch. Entering our ninth spot is about the weather. Pag-asa is currently monitoring not just one, but 3 weather disturbances around the Philippine area of responsibility. Let's get to know more about this with Pag-asa weather forecaster Ana Floren Jorda. Good morning, Ana.
Yes po, good morning po sa ating lahat. And yun nga po, update po tayo dito sa binabantayan po nating dating bagyong si Enteng. So ngayon po, totally malayo na ho ito sa ating area of responsibility, but yung trough or yung extension po ng mga kaulapan nito is nag-extend pa rin dyan sa may Batanes at Bubuyan Islands. Kaya inaasahan pa rin po natin na cloudy pa rin po dyan with chances of scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. And then the next weather system that is affecting our country is the southwest monsoon or habagat. And this southwest monsoon will continue to bring occasional rains over Pangasinan, Zambales, and Bataan. Pero dito sa atin sa Metro Manila and Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Cordillera Administrative Region, the rest of Ilocos Region, and Central Luzon, we're still expecting cloudy skies with chances of scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. At expect po natin towards the weekend ang improving weather condition na kung saan ay mas maaliwalas ho yung panahon na ating naasahan sa weekend kumpara po sa nararanasan natin ngayon. So ngayon, medyo makulimlim pa po, no? Pero bukas ay posibleng mas sumikat na po yung ating haring araw. At yung chance ng pag-ulan natin over the weekend is panandalian na lamang ho mga isolated cases sa hapon at sa gabi. At yung nababanggit nyo ho kanina na other weather disturbance po ay yung cloud cluster na minomonitor natin ngayon na kung saan ay pwede ho ito mabuo into a low pressure area at di natin i-rule out yung possibility na maging isang bagyo ho ito at maging isang sa ngayon, sa analysis ho natin, no, hindi ho ito mag-landfall or tatama sa ating bansa. Kung may kita po natin sa ating satellite imagery, medyo mataos na ho ito. So kung sakali man maging bagyo, nandyan po siya malapit sa may East Taiwan area. At ang ating minomonitor for the coming weeks ay yung possible enhancement po nito sa habagat. So maulang next week po ulit yung na-expect po natin dito sa Metro Manila and some parts of Luzon. Kaya patuloy ho tayo mag-antabay sa mga update po na nilalabas ng Pag-asa.
Alright, pero
yes,
go ahead.
Opo, sa mga maglalayag naman po over the weekend, may gale warning pa rin ho tayong nakataas over the western section of Luzon. So hindi pa rin ho natin pinapayagang pumalaot dyan yung ating mga kababayan, mga isda, pati na rin po yung may maliit na sasakyang pandagat.
Alright, sige. Thank you so much. That was our Pag-asa weather forecaster, Ana Floren Jorda. Okay, so next week ulit magbabantay tayo. Pero for this week,
improving weather conditions.
Naman,
Saka next week daw, if ever, sa mga areas na binanggit niya, mga northern areas. So medyong hindi na daw sin grabe sa Metro Manila. But of course, we're still monitoring that because this is the weather. Paiba-iba ang isip po ng weather natin. Kung isipan niyang saan pumunta yan.
Oo, dapat kawawa din yung mga kababayan natin sa yung mga far-flung areas na tatamaan ng bagyo. But for the meantime, let's continue with our countdown.
Next in our countdown is about inflation. Inflation eased to 3.3% in August from 4.4% in the previous month. The Philippine Statistics Authority says the downtrend was due to slower price increase in food. Transport inflation also slowed down. But there were higher annual increases in several non-food commodities. The latest print puts inflation back into the government's target inflation rate of 2 to 4%.
May pagbaba talaga at sinasabi nila Lidl baka daw because of the implementation ng lower rice import tariff. Diba? Kaya daw medyo bumababa din. And of course, sinasabi na pag mababa, meron din yung possibility na mas marami may consumption, mas bibili kasi mas mababa ang presyo.
Pero we're talking about the overall inflation basket. That means it's going down. But if you take a look at the food basket, hindi daw masyadong mabilis ang pagbaba ng inflation yung rate niya as compared to other items. So while overall, generally, this will affect the middle class, na magkakaroon tayo more spending power, but the lower classes, ganun pa rin po nararamdaman nila because yung food basket remains high.
Exactly.
Mabilis po ang pagtaas ng inflation.
Kaya hanggang ngayon nga yung bigas, 'di ba? Magkano ba yung regular well-milled rice? 50 pa rin 'yan.
50 to 55 pesos po ang well-milled rice. And of course, wala na pong kanin sa may 30 to 35 peso range.
You can only see that sa Kadiwa stores.
Wala na pong ganun. On the average po, you have somewhere between 55 to 70 pesos for decent rice. The word decent, kasi noon pag sabi mong 70, medyo maganda-gandang quality na yun, di ba?
Okay, sige. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. But coming up, Alice Go's sister Sheila was again grilled by lawmakers in their hearing on illegal pogo operations.
And what's next for Alice Go now that she was brought back to the Philippines?
Yesterday nga si Cassandra Ong dinala sa ospital di ba?
Pero
tumaas daw yung bumaba yung
blood
kanyang
sugar.
blood sugar.
Sa mga bashers po, medyo chinek naman siya ng director for yung head director doon sa house. So talagang bumaba talaga blood sugar, and her BP was 70/40.
Si Alice Go
That's
kaya
very low, ha?
Hindi si Alice pagharap niya sa Senate hearing.
Hindi, si Alice Go naman yung demeanor niya para siyang
baka hindi pa
parang K-pop
yung magnitude ng situation.
Hindi, parang for her siguro relief na the government resolved her issues on one strike Parang gusto niya sumuko na Pero ang question is, sana magsalita ka. Kung hindi, sasakit na naman ulo ni Alice Go.
Sige, pag-uusapan natin dyan. We are just getting started, mga kapatid. More of our top 10 news when brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Good morning! You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Friday nga po, pero busy-busy pa rin tayo sa mga issues today. And of course, nandyan pa rin yung issue natin kay Alice Go, kay Kibuloy, at marami pang iba.
Don't forget MPAX. And of course, we're monitoring several weather systems this September.
Pero batiin ko muna itong mga nanonood sa atin. Dito muna ako sa YouTube. Si Geraldine Balolong, si Mark Santiago, si Oscar Ende, si Cancio, at si Alex Fuentes at saka si Ralph Domingo dyan ata nasa Facebook na. Meron na daw siyang obvious top 1.
Yeah, sa Ralph Domingo, we have the most obvious daw on the countdown, and it happened around 8:30 last night. We all know what he's thinking. Si Christian Cabalquinto, good morning daw sa'yo.
Thank you, sa akin lang.
Sa'yo lang.
Good morning din sa'yo,
Elsie Arajo, good morning naman daw. Mina Benyales, of course, Jessie Mendez family, good morning daw sa atin dalawa.
Sila Gary Fields, ang Pokemon Go, si Gary Ko, Ronald Maxtay, yan yung mga regular viewers.
Bakit nga Sam Pokemon Go?
Si Vladimir, si VJ, si sino pa ba?
Ano real name ulit ni Sam Pokemon?
Ate, si Ringo, ha?
Ano real name ni Sam Pokemon Go?
Alright, sige, and thank you also for, thank you to Buddha's Belly para sa ating brunch for today. And let's continue with our countdown. At our 7th spot is the new press secretary. Cesar Chavez is now the head of the Presidential Communications Office, or PCO. He replaced Cheloy Garafil, who is now appointed as the head of the Manila Economic Cultural Office, or MECO. Prior to this, Chavez was PCO's Senior Undersecretary for Strategic Communications. Chavez said he will work with experts who can speak on various issues in the country.
Sa mga pinagdaanan ko mga opisina, I usually work with the institution. Nandun lagi ang tiwala sa bawat isa.
Yun siya din na nagsabi na he will also focus on the messages, diba? Messaging or communications about policies ng West Philippine Sea. And siya din yung nag-create ngayon ng hotline between concerned agencies, mga stakeholders, pagdating dun sa mga announcement ng no classes. So sabi niya, latest na daw yung 4 a.m. Latest na yung 4 a.m. na makapag-decide ang mga eskwelahan, ang mga gobyerno and other stakeholders sa kung magdedeklara ng walang
PCO
pasok.
pa rin ba or iniba ni BBM?
Binalik niya. Actually, binalik niya. Ito yun, press secretary na. Before nawala yan
si
because
PRRD,
of
nagpalit.
Oo, binalik.
Tapos binalik ni BBM sa ginawa ni Pinoy.
Oo. And this is the 3rd press secretary. Diba? Una si Attorney Trixie Angeles. Barely 4 months, if I'm not mistaken.
But she was very controversial press secretary.
Tapos nga si Cheloy Garafil na ngayon nasa MECO na. Ang tanong dyan, saan ngayon si Sylvester Bello III? Siya ang head kasi ng MECO
Baka tatakbo.
Tatakbo or baka magre-retire na. Kasi you have to remember siya yung former secretary naman ng DOLE during Duterte's administration.
Tsaka may mga business interests siya naman na he gave up when he joined the cabinet of President Duterte. So let's see if he goes back to the private life or may other things in store for him.
Yun. Okay, sige, titignan natin kung ano yung magiging trabaho dyan ng ating bagong PCO. Tinatanong nga siya, ikaw na ba ang susunod na na baka maging spokesperson talaga, itatalaga? Kasi so far wala pa na spokesperson na itinatalaga kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Sinabi niya hindi. Si President Bongbong Marcos pa rin is the best spokesperson
for himself.
Alright, let's move forward.
Moving over to our top 6, Manila Representative Joel Chua now heads a House committee tasked to investigate the misuse of public funds. This comes amid scrutiny over the proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President. Recall that Chua, a critic of Vice President Sara Duterte, called her a, quote, entitled brat. This stems from Duterte's refusal to answer questions raised by lawmakers on her office's budget. In an interview with The Big Story, Chua denied that he is politicizing the budget of the OVP. Yan, medyo serious serious allegations tong sinasabi niya, yung committee niya, because it's the misuse of public funds. And you have to remember, misuse of public funds is part of the grounds for. I'm not saying, I'm just not saying impeach, but if you review po the grounds for impeachment, that's one of them.
And if you will also recall, there were also reports prior to this, diba, na may chismis daw. Actually, nanggaling nga mismo kay Vice President Sara Duterte, diba, na sabi niya nagkakaroon daw ng mga usap-usapan doon from her sources na impeach siya. Pero ito na, Diego, yung interview from The Big Story.
We were just frustrated, more of disappointed because the Vice President refused to answer any of our questions. Meron lang po siyang prepared speech. That's it. So we did not get anything from her.
Yun.
So, had she answered them on the question, I think the friction would have been less. Diba? Or kaya, kung ayaw niya sagutin, sana hindi naging combative. Parang yan ang pananaw ng mga House members na hindi naging combative si VP.
No, go lang. Nagugutom ako sa mga issue
sana daw
ngayon
hindi naging combative si VP Sara towards the congressman. Diba? Alam mo naman ng mga laws of power, diba? Do not huwag mo gagalitin ang kaaway mo.
Oo. Titignan natin kung ano, kasi pinapakompel sila to release yung mga documents regarding sa computerization program ng DepEd because nakakakita sila ng mga discrepancies doon since 2020 to 2022.
Actually,
yung sabi nila baka daw rigged yung bidding na nangyayari doon sa mga laptop.
Tsaka ang daming issues pinupukol sa kanila na medyo mabigat. You have already the wasted money dahil sa mga Nutriban tsaka sa mga milk products na ibibigay sa mga bata. So that's a waste also in itself. Tapos yung hindi na focus daw yung pera on computerization sa mga schools where 30 teachers were sharing on the average 1 computer. Diba? Ano nangyari sa last 2 years daw sa tenure niya as DepEd, di ba?
Tapos pinupukol pa siya doon sa kanyang yung confidential funds ng 100+ million.
Plus,
sinasabi daw nila sa COA, wag i-release yung report. Diba?
Plus, meron pa yung sa book, wala daw sila makitang payment certificate. Wala silang...
Doon sa book niya, yung kaibigan.
Hindi daw
ano
nila
ba yung isang tunay na kaibigan na kalimutan ko yung title?
Although meron daw certain documents that will prove na allocate yung budget na yun for the book. Pero the actual payment disbursement, I don't know what you call that paper, hindi daw nakikita.
So kaya nga, if you will look at this on the other side of the fence, ang kanilang sinasabi talagang this is a demolition job against the Vice President. Talagang napupoliticize.
Well, I don't doubt it could. I don't doubt it could be politicizing, but sometimes you can politicize the truth Kasi kung kakampi mo ko at di kita kaaway at may alam akong masama sa iyo, hindi ko ilalabas kung kaibigan kita. Nasa kabilang side ng fence ka, ilalabas ko lahat ng ginagawa mo.
And yet again, how many times I've said this, how tides have turned sa mga Duterte kasi before hindi ka makakita ng ganito sa kanila na mga issue na sasabihin ng mga Congress.
You could not raise a voice to any of the Dutertes. Kung ginawa mo yun, budget mo as congressman or whatever, nawala. Oo. Si BP Lenny nga, di ba, sumagot lang ng konti, natanggal sa position twice. Not once, but twice.
Oh well, sige. At let's continue na muna with our countdown. Ranking 5th in our countdown is the ongoing search for Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. The Court of Appeals, or CA, has nullified the Temporary Protection Order, or TPO, favoring the members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. The CA said the Davao City Court has acted without authority when it issued the TPO on August 27. They also noted that the Davao City Court could cause local biases and a strong possibility of witnesses not testifying due to fear and influence of the accused. KOJC Legal Counsel Attorney Israelito Torreon said they will file a motion for reconsideration on CA's ruling.
Before we move to Bril Montamo, sinabi mo na yan. You already said that.
Ano yung sinabi ko?
Sinabi mo na yan nung nagbabanter tayo na yan na bakit ang Davao City Court ang nag-i-issue ng TPO when these were filed dito sa Metro Manila Court. So, bakit sila may jurisdiction? Dapat ang magpa-file ng TPO ang Court of Jurisdiction sa cases ni Apollo Kibuloy. Yan.
Pero yun nga, kaya yung appeal na o yung motion for reconsideration na gagawin sa kampo nila, mula sa kampo nila Kibuloy through his legal counsel, Attorney Torreon, ay sinasabi niya kasi doon naman sa usapin na yun, hindi naman nakalagay doon yung hindi naman kasama doon yung Jose Maria College Yun ang kanyang
well, that's part of the compound. That's part of the KOJC compound.
So ngayon, ongoing pa rin. Pang ilang araw na ba to, Direk? 13th to 14th day ng search, na 14th day, na ginagawang operasyon ngayon ng mga PNP Davao doon sa KOJC compound para nga maihain yung kanilang warrant of arrest laban kay Pastor Apollo Kibuloy and 4 other accused.
And I hope the visit of the Senate ni Senator Bato, will not hinder yung operations ng police. Diba? Because we all want to resolve this as soon as possible. Si Alice Guo nga, nahuli na harap na yan. I want to see Pastor Apollo Kibuloy caught and to answer ano ang sagot niya.
Kaya nga 'di ba 'yun ang sinasabi. Sabihin niyo na lang siya na sumuko na lang at para mapatunayan nga na siya ay not guilty dun sa accusations ay humarap siya sa korte.
Sabi ni VP Sara sa heaven na daw.
Pero ayan, no, tingnan natin. Kasi may mga kumakala din ng mga photos at sinasabi nga ng mga KOJC members through their legal counsel na sa Atty. Torion na may mga pinapasok na mga equipment doon, mga semento, ganyan.
Oo, the cemento daw was put into mineral water bottles, smuggled in. Kada policeman na papasok, may hawak na mineral water bottle. Yan ang accusation, ha? Yan ang accusation, unproven accusation.
So ngayon, ongoing din, alam ko ang investigation ng Commission on Human Rights. They have, sent investigators, CHR investigators to the area to make sure na yung ongoing operation nga dyan ng police ay nangyayari within the bounds of the law. Yun ang sinasabi nila. Yun din, ako naman, I maintain my stand on this na, di ba nabanggit ko na, basta yung place of worship nila, wag na lang natin pakialaman.
Unless
nandun sa loob, no?
Irrefutable evidence that the place of worship and the people behind the place of worship is hindering the police to effectively implement this is the whole that's being accused na hinukay ng PNP. Yan. Yun ang
ilang
medyo
meters
malalim.
daw,
Kung ito yung whole, but the PNP denies this na hindi daw sila gumawa niyan, ilabas daw nila ang source. Nakakapasok naman pala ang KOJC members, si Torion, yung mga grupo nila. So, ba't nila gusto makita para ma-witness? Yun pala yung na-witness nila.
Pero yun nga sinasabi, di ba, importante din naman daw magkaroon at least one witness doon sa ongoing na operation nila dyan. Witness from the camp of Kibuloy.
Yes,
which is any member of the KOJC. Religious group. Okay, sige. Ang daming pangyari na kasi magkakaroon din ng hearing tungkol dito, 'di ba? And then I heard yung may mga bibisitang mga congressman ba or senador?
Di ba Senate?
Senate pupunta diyan.
Oo, yung grupo ni Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Ayun. Okay, sige, let's continue with our countdown.
Coming in at the top 4, the Guo siblings are now facing money laundering cases. Here's the report.
Alice Guo's sister Sheila was again grilled at the Senate on Thursday. Senator Risa Ontiveros said she was not convinced by Sheila's previous statements.
Ang hirap paniwalaan actually na tatlo kayo, ni na Alice, bilyones ang pera ninyo, pinaghahanap ng buong bansang Pilipinas, i-expose nyo ang sarili nyo sa ganyang delikadong biyahe sa dagat. Maaari mo bang i-describe sa amin yung itsura ng Siembenna na yan?
Kasi beach yata yun. Palang beach na may buhangin.
Siyempre naman, beach, so may buhangin.
Opo.
Ano pa?
May tao, pero hindi ka
May kaunting...
Palang turista ata yung tao na yun.
Ontiveros then showed a copy of Sheila's passport. It was a July 18 stamp for entry into Malaysia via Kuala Lumpur. It turns out that Sheila and her siblings first traveled to Kuala Lumpur, but she insisted that they used boats going to Sabah.
Yung ganyang klaseng stamp daw ay itatatak lang sa passport kung galing ng KL. At July 19 ka lang pumasok sa Sabah. Ayon sa stamp na yan. Sa makatuwid, nauna ka dapat sa Kuala Lumpur kaysa sa Sabah. Pero ang kwento mo noon hanggang ngayon, mula Pilipinas, galing sa Sabah. Dumaan muna ba kayo sa Kuala Lumpur?
Kasi pagdating kami sa Siembenna, may biyahe pa kami. Biyahe kami, tapos dalating sa isang lugar, Malaysia na yan. Nakainan alaw kasi kami doon.
Other senators also believe that Sheila is lying or not providing sufficient information.
You owe it to yourself na magsabi ng katotohanan. Hindi ka makakalabas ng Pilipinas ng ganun lang. Kahit nakapatid mo pa si Alice Guo. Hindi ka makakalabas ng ganun lang. Hindi ka makakawala sa mga otoridad sa Pilipinas ng ganun lang. Nasasabihin mong wala kang alam o walang tumutulong sa'yo.
The lawmakers warned Sheila that she may be imprisoned for lying. The Anti-Money Laundering Council also confirmed the filing of cases against the Guos.
Yung sinabi ng AMLAC na posibleng i-sentensya sa inyo ay mula 609 years hanggang 1,218 years. Lampas-lampas sa lifetime ng isang tao. So isipin yung mabuti kung worth it na patuloy na hindi magsabi ng totoo.
The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines says they did not see any Guo in the list of outbound passengers, but they admit that they could not verify if the names were correct.
Kasi according dun sa investigation nila, Senator Risa, ano daw sabi nila parang they arrived in Kuala Lumpur on July 18. Pero ang sabi ni Sheila during the hearing, they left the Philippines July 18. So doon pa lang, alam mo na may discrepancy, di ba? Merong pagsisinungaling. Yun ang sinasabi niya. Tapos mali daw yung fake daw yung stamp na pinakita sa kanila.
Well, they're faking entry points. Pwede. Or they left at July 18 ng midnight and then they're still arrived in Kuala Lumpur within the day. Kasi it takes less than a day naman kung non-stop travel.
Kaya nga kahapon nung nahuli si Alice Go, tinatanong na siya mga reporters, paano kayo nakaalis? Di ba? Sino tumulong sa inyo? Hindi pa siya nagsasalita. So tingnan natin kung magko-corroborate yung mga story ni Sheila, ni Cassandra, at saka
Pero
ni
what's
Alice
interesting
Go.
is kasi humihingi ng tulong si Alice sa may death threats. So the mere fact that she's professing this means na may tinatago, she's protecting somebody. And she, 'di ba? And then she's asking for help for protection. Sana magsabi na siya ng totoo. But what's so funny also here is tinanong si Sheila, ano yung beach pinunta nyo? Sabi ni Sheila, may buhangin. Sabi ni Senator Risa, natural, may buhangin, beach Ano pa meron? May tao.
Feeling ko kasi na lack of
lost
better,
in translation.
lost in translation, lack of better
Oh, pero this is serious yung sa charges daw that can be brought against them by AMLAC will be up to 1,000 years. Would you imagine 1,000 years in prison? Walang parole yan. Double, somebody only lives for 80 years, possible 600 to 1,000 years in prison.
Kaya ako sa kanila,
Is it worth it?
na sila.
Stop protecting yung mga pinoprotektahan nyo.
Mahaba-haba itong mga hearing na to. And of course, balikan ko lang yung nangyayari dun sa KOJC compound. Di ba sabi ko sa'yo may mga mangyayaring inspection doon. Ang pupunta doon kasi, if I'm not mistaken, si House Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Yes.
So balikan natin mamaya si Bril Montalvo na nando doon, ng News 5 correspondent, para bigyan tayo ng update dun sa nangyayari doon sa KOJC compound. Okay? Sige, but for the meantime, Diego.
Don't go away because we're not done
muna
yet. May tatlo pa tayo. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Panalo tong picture na yan.
Oo, grabe.
Ewan ko kung ganyan talaga ang demeanor niya. Ano? Pero wait lang, before we move on, one message lang from a viewer. Kay Christian Cabalquinto, sorry daw, good morning din daw sa akin.
Ayun naman pala.
Ayun naman pala.
Si Lalaine Rebuta nagpapa...
Lalaine, pabati daw. Hi,
Pabati.
Lalaine. Kamusta ka na?
Ay,
ayun.
kanino yun?
Akin yun.
Sa'yo
Okay.
ba?
Okay.
So nakakatawa actually, natatawa tayo, pero sa totoo lang, nakakainis, 'di ba? Bakit ganun? 'Di ba? Parang akala mo may OFW yung umuwi sa Pilipinas. Tapos sa ganun ang trato dahil ano ba, VIP ba yan?
Now, we all know on social media si Alice Go has a following, pero these are officials of the government. From the Bureau of Immigration, pagkasundo pa lang sa kanya, nag-selfie. Okay lang to selfie to proof of life. Pero parang nakangiti kayo lahat.
Parang outing pa daw sila.
Parang nag-outing.
Pupunta
Ngayon,
daw ng
ang base naman kasi kay Secretary Abalos, malay ko, ba't siya ngumiti ng ganon? Di ba may video nga saying, Alice, explain mo, ba't ka daw ganon magpa-picture? Si Secretary Abalos daw, tsaka si Police Chief
Hindi na siya
Marbil.
malambing nun. Ikaw talaga.
Ikaw talaga. Ikaw pala si Alice.
Ikaw talaga. Na-meet ko na kayo, Sec, talaga? Doon ka ba?
Okay, government, yap.
Diba? Ay, nako. Pero yun nga, daming nagalit, diba? Nagalit si Senator Villanueva, Senator Risa Ontiveros. Sabi, tingnan natin kung photogenic ka pa rin. Daming litrato yan makukuha sa'yo pag umatin ka ng Senate hearing.
Wala ka tayong magagawa kung yan ang demeanor ng tao eh. Diba? Buti hindi pa siya, bibilangin ko sana yung video niya pagdating kung lalabas niya yung dila niya eh. Diba?
Oh, pero yung ano pala, yung pagpunta doon ni nila Secretary Abalos at PNP Chief Marbil, nag-ano sila ang tawag dito, ni-rush daw sila actually ng Indonesian authorities to get Alice Go. Otherwise, dahil wala naman daw arrest at that time, 'di ba? They have no choice but to free her, let her go. Kaya nataranta daw sila, and sabi, according to Secretary Abalos, he talked to a friend regarding a chartered flight. Sinasabi niya, ni-reiterate niya doon na wala daw ginastos ng government because ang dami nagtaasan ng kilay. Bakit kailangan chartered plane? Ganyan-ganyan. Sabi niya, we're working on, sabi niya, we have to beat this deadline na binigay sa amin ng authorities.
And
otherwise, di namin makukuha si Go. Baka ma-free na siya doon or ma-release siya.
That's why he went mismo to go. Okay, ito meron tayong updates pala. Nagagalit na si Direk.
Gusto ko yung biglang gumagano.
Hindi, pero kasi this is also important. Updates to sa...
To get more updates about KOJC, sabi ko nga, balikan natin. We have News 5 correspondent Bril Montalvo reporting to us live from Davao City. Bril!
Good morning, Bril!
Yes. Yes, Angela, Diego, breaking news, no? Live nga tayo ngayon dito sa loob ng basement ng Jose Maria College.
Basement.
Dito
sa basement ka.
KOJC compound kung saan kasalukuyang nagsasagawa ng ocular inspection ang Senado dito sa pangunguna ni Senator Bato de la Rosa at Senator Robin Hood Padilla. At kanina nga, Diego and Angela, ay inuna nilang pinasok itong KOJC Cathedral at yun, nakita natin doon na medyo wala ng pulis, hindi na tayo hinarang ang media, pinapasok sila smoothly yung Senate team at doon din sa sinasabi nilang secret door doon sa loob ng cathedral. Nakita natin para lang itong holding area doon sa cathedral, hindi talaga ito secret door. At sunod ng mga pinuntahan ng Senate team, ito nga JMC basement dito pa rin sa loob ng compound. At nakita natin dito ang isang semento, parang bago lang kinumpuni, parang bago lang na semento na hukay. Ayan, so mamaya sa assessment ng ni Senator Robin Padilla at Senator Bato ay may magaganap din na Senate hearing mamaya ang alauna ng hapon dito pa rin sa lungsod at doon na daw nila sasabihin kung ano ang kanilang assessment sa kanilang ginawang ocular inspection dito sa loob ng KOJC compound. Diego, Angela?
Bril, yes, sinasabi mo parang may cemented part na bagong company. May sinabi na ba ang Davao City Police about that? Kung ano daw yon?
Yes, kanina din Diego, Angela, exclusive nating nakausap doon mismo sa headquarters ng PNP. At nakausap natin si Brigadier General Nicolas Torre III at sabi nga niya, in-advisean niya ang kanyang mga pulis dito na papasukin ang lahat ng personahe sa Senate, huwag silang haharangan. Kung saan nila gustong pumasok o pumunta, hayaan nyo silang maghalughog sa loob ng KOJC compound. So yun yung sinabi ni General Torre, kanyang kumanda sa mga kapulisan dito sa loob ng compound. At yun nga nangyari, pinapasok tayo ang media, Senator Bato at si Senator Robin at smoothly at walang humarang sa amin ng mga pulis. So ngayon, nandito tayo sa basement ng Jose Maria College na yung sinasabing nandito daw yung hukay, yung mga lumalabas na video na pinapadala kay KOJC Legal Counsel Attorney Charlito Torion. At yun nga, nakita natin na may isang parang malaking hukay na bago lang kinumpuni, bago lang sinimento.
Wala ka bang video na maibabato sa amin para makita namin na talagang nasa basement ka ngayon dyan sa KOJC compound, Bril?
Phone patch lang pala.
Naka-video ako pero paano ba ito ma-send?
Sige, send mo sa amin later.
Yes, later after this interview ay isi-send ko sa inyo yung video na nakuha natin dito sa basement at sa ocular inspection ng ating miyembro ng Senado sa pangunguna ni Senator Bato de la Rosa na Senator Robin Hood Padilla.
Bril, this is on record, this is the first time na inalaw ang media na that far doon sa ongoing operation ng PNP?
Yes, tama ka nga dyan, Angel. Ilang beses na tayong pinapasok dito ng mga miyembro, mga opisyal ng KOJC dito sa basement ng KOJC compound ng Jose Maria College and also doon sa loob ng KOJC Cathedral. pero hindi tayo pinapayagang pumasok ng mga pulis at nandoon sila nakabarikada sa entrance ng basement. Pero ngayon yung first time, tama ka nga dyan, ngayon yung first time na pinapasok tayo dito sa basement ng Jose Maria College at KOJC Cathedral. Angela.
Bril, what's the atmosphere there? Diba? Going to the basement, may tension ba between the KOJC members and the police, and kasama na kayo dyan sa media, pagsama din nila Senator Bato de la Rosa and Robin Hood Padilla?
Angela, ngayon kayo palabas na tapos nang mag-inspection si Senator Bato de la Rosa at si Senator Padilla dito nga sa basement. So palabas na tayo ngayon ng basement ng KOJC compound. Angela, mapala tayo kasi nandito si Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Sige.
Senator, live ka ngayon sa 1PH. Senator, ano yung assessment natin?
Hindi pa kung gawa ng complete assessment dahil ibuhin pa yung ating inspection. Mamaya, malaman natin mamaya.
Ano yung magaganap mamaya sa Senate hearing? Ano yung possible na magaganap mamaya sa Senate hearing?
Tingnan natin kung ganyan lang naman. Ang Senate hearing natin didepende sa ano makita dito ngayon sa consensus.
And so, Angela, yun.
Bril, can we talk to Senator Bato?
Yes, Senator Angela po ng Yes, Angela. Kausapin natin ni Senator Bato.
Hi, Senator. This is Angela Lagunza and Diego Castro po. Oo. Can you give us a picture po of what happened there ngayon sa pag-inspection niyo po sa loob ng KOJC compound, particularly dyan po sa basement?
Binubutas sila, most likely, yan yung pinabutan ng ating mga pangangasak para sila. Kung may pagkakas na conflict, kaya tuloy pang conflict yun, balikan natin yun dahil pupunta ka tayo sa ibang mga establishment dito sa loob ng conflict.
Oo.
Balikan natin yun.
Mamaya daw.
Medyo hindi natin marinig eh.
Kasi busy sila.
Angela, nandito nga tayo ngayon sa compound ng KOJC sa Barangay Buhangin. So, mamaya daw ay babalik itong grupo ng Senado. At I think susunod nilang pupuntahan is itong hangar ng KOJC. So, medyo malayo ito. So, medyo sasakay kami ng sasakyan. Ayan. So,
For those who just tuned in, ang kausap po natin ngayon ang ating ang News 5 correspondent na si Bril Montalvo. Na live
Senator
po ngayon, kasama niya po si Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, and police authorities there sa PNP, no? Dahil nagkaroon nga ng inspection yung mga senador natin doon, particularly nga si Senator Bato at saka si Robin Hood Padilla, para doon sa ongoing operation ng police sa basement. But for the meantime, thank you so much kay Bril Montalvo, ang News 5 correspondent. Balikan ka namin sa iba pang detalye. Medyo magulo na yung linya kasi live nga yun nagkakagulo na doon. Hindi naman gulo, no? Pero nagpunta sila doon sa basement, sabi nga ni Bril, tapos ngayon paalis na sila after may inspect nila Senator Bato de la Rosa and Robin Hood Padilla. Punta daw sila sa may hangar. Yun sa may may dugtong daw yun sa Davao Airport.
I wanted to ask sana Bril kasi before Bato, pero hindi ko na natanong kung yung nakita niyang pagkumpuni ng semento sa hukay is the same shape as the picture na kiniklaim ni Attorney Tarion na naguhukay sila.
Yes, Bril?
Yes. Nandito ba tayo ngayon?
Bril, I'd like to ask lang, no, yung nakita mong yung pagkukumpuni ng semento, pagtatakip sa supposed hukay, pareho ba ang hulma niya o yung shape niya sa lumalabas na litrato na linabas ni Attorney Tarion, medyong square?
Yes, Diego, tama ka nga dyan. Nung magkahawig na itong nakita natin doon sa basement na parang bagong kumpuni na hukay doon nga sa lugar. At hindi pa natin makonfirm kung yun nga yung butas, pero magkahawig sila, Angela and Diego, doon sa picture na inilabas ni Attorney Israelito Torion. So mamaya daw, according kay Senator Bato de la Rosa, doon nila isisiwala kung ano ang kanilang nadiskubre, ang kanilang assessment, doon nga sa ginawa nilang inspection. So ngayon, nandito tayo sa compound sa harap ng GMC College. Tapos, patungo ang team ng Senado at ang media doon sa hangar, sa compound pa rin. rin.
Okay, take videos na lang, Bril, and update us later kung ano yung nangyayari.
Sige po.
Okay. Thank you. That was Bril Montalvo, a News 5 correspondent, reporting us live sa Davao City.
Kasi nga papunta sila ngayon daw sa may, tulad na nabanggit ko kanina sa hangar, 'di ba? Doon sa may mga sabi nila na may kadugtong daw yun ng Davao Airport. Oo.
So there's that connection between the KOJC compound to the airport. There's a hangar in between.
And that's first time also for the media people, 'di ba? Media personnel
To be granted
makapunta
access.
doon sa basement na nangyayari yung operasyon nga ng ng PNP. Okay, kanina nakausap natin si Senator Bato de la Rosa, kaya lang medyo magulo yung linya, sayang, para mabigyan tayo sana nung kanyang nakita doon mismo. Okay, sige, marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. Balik muna tayo sa countdown natin. Coming hot at the third spot is the Bureau of Immigration. The BI admitted the low morale in the agency after the scolding of President Bongbong Marcos over the escape of dismissed Bamban Mayor Alice Go. The president previously said that heads will roll regarding Go's escape, and some of them are from the BI. Immigration spokesperson Dana Sandoval said they have no information about the immigration officers who allegedly helped Go. She added that BO or BI will not hesitate to file charges against their officers who were allegedly involved in the matter.
Yari kayo.
Oo, di ba kahapon tinanong nga natin kay Undersecretary ng DOJ, Nicolas T, regarding this, na yung mababa daw ang moral ng mga BI, at sinabi nga ni Bongbong Marcos na heads will roll.
They have a list already daw, but they're verifying all the info to make sure lang.
Oo, and they'll file
appropriate
cases.
charges.
Oo, hindi lang basta
Charges.
mga dismiss ang mangyayari.
Right, madami pa tayong pag-uusapan, so let's move on to the next. A Tarlac court has issued an arrest warrant for dismissed Mayor Alice Go. The Capas Regional Trial Court set her bail at 90,000 pesos each for violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. This stems from her alleged links to the raided Pogo hubs in Bamban, Tarlac, where she also served as mayor. Go is also facing a human trafficking complaint and money laundering charges. Parang based sa lawyer ni former Mayor Alice Go, parang ayaw niya mag-bail. She feels safer daw in the PNP Custodial Center amidst the death threats.
Ano nga ito kumbaga ang sabi nila buzzer beater itong pag-file o yung pag-issue ng arrest warrant for Alice Go from Capas Tarlac na court. Because nga...
They can't hold her.
Oo, they can't hold, di ba? Napag-usapan din natin yesterday dito na ang isang arrest warrant lang naman na nasa ulo ni Alice Go at that time ay yung contempt ng Senate. Buti
Only
na lang
Senate,
ngayon.
The Senate can hold her, but until pag natapos yung hearing, they have to let her go.
So kasi yun nga nag-aantay pa according din sa DOJ kahapon, and of course sa PAOK, they're still waiting for the resolutions ng korte dun sa mga cases na final nila against Alice Go.
Because if they hold her for a period of time, pwede makasabihan na yung PNP illegal arbitrary detention.
Okay, sige, let's continue with our countdown. Number 1 na tayo. And of course, the top story is the return of Alice Go. The dismissed Bamban mayor is currently detained in Camp Crame after she arrived in the Philippines today. Meanwhile, Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos defended himself from the critics of his viral photo with Go and Philippine National Police Chief Romel Marbil. Here's a report.
After months of evading the authorities, Alice Go is finally brought back to the Philippines. The dismissed Bamban Tarlac mayor was handcuffed and clad in orange prison uniform when she was presented to the media in Pasay City. Go arrived in the country via chartered flight with Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos and Philippine National Police Chief Romel Marbil at around 1 in the morning today. Abalos said they had to book a private flight for Go to meet the Indonesian authorities' deadline in fetching her.
Nakatanggap ako ng tawag na binibigyan tayo ng hanggang alauna na madaling araw dahil nadakip ng mga Indonesian authorities si Alice Go, na kung hindi ito aayusin ng Pilipinas, makapakawala nila si Alice Go. So dahil sa panahon na yun, agad tayo naganap ng eroplano. Kasi hindi tayo aabot sa mga flight. At may kaibigan ako nagpahiram na eroplano para lang magawa ito sa mas madaling paraan.
Abalos received backlash from the public for seemingly treating Guo with special treatment. He was caught having a light talk with the controversial figure who was tagged in illegal pogo operations and other accusations.
Hi, Sir.
Alice. Ikaw pala si Alice. Hindi kita
Nakita ko
nakikilala.
tayo before.
Saan?
Tarlac po, Sir.
Ando ka ba nung mayor ka doon?
Opo.
Ando sila, no? Sila governor?
Opo, opo, Sir.
Yung nagpunta. Ikaw talaga.
Abalos and Marbil were also criticized for posing with a gleeful Guo in a photo. Senator Risa Ontiveros reminded the officials that Guo should be treated as a fugitive and not as a celebrity. In response to the criticisms, Abalos gave context behind the viral photo. He said that Guo asked them for protection from the death threats she was receiving.
Nag-request si Alice na kausapin kaming dalawa ni Chief. At sinabi niya nga na meron siya mga death threats. At inassure ko siya, kami ni Chief, na yung death threats, huwag niya alalahanin, importante, sabihin niya lahat ng totoo. Lahat, huwag siya matakot, maski sino pa malalaking tao ito. At siya ibabantayan ng kapulisyahan.
Guo confirmed Abalos' explanation.
Kino-confirm ko po ang lahat po na sinabi po ni Secretary na meron po akong death threats po at humingi po ako ng tulong po sa kanila at masaya din po ako na nakita ko po sila. I feel safe po. Maraming salamat po.
Guo refrained from giving more information about her escape since she was not with her legal counsel at that time. She was served with an arrest warrant from the Capas Regional Trial Court for her graft and corruption charges. The court set bail at 90,000 pesos for each count. Guo has not posted bail yet, so she is staying under the custody of PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group in Camp Crame. She is expected to be brought to the Senate to attend the hearings that she previously evaded. Mobile journalist Francis Orsho, We Are One News.
Okay na sana yung ibang sinabi ni Sec, pero yung ikaw talaga.
Oo, ikaw talaga.
But we don't know naman. We can't
malambing lang si
we can't
Secretary.
judge naman his demeanor. I mean, we've met him at certain events. That's how he really speaks. Yung medyong malumanay na ano. But siguro if Alice Guo is not the biggest fish and there's a bigger fish, and that's why she approached them mismo and she's asking for protection, well, mukhang ang inkling niyan is she's at this point in time, she's willing to talk.
Diba, yung kanyang attorney, si Attorney Stephen David,
he's urging
lagi
her.
niya sinasabi na I've been urging her
to
na
talk.
mag-surrender, diba? At saka, ito, mabuti to. Sabi niya, mabuti tong pagkaka-aresto kay Alice Guo, at least masasagot na niya. Diba, makakalaban na siya ng patas doon sa mga accusations
Actually,
sa kanya.
si Senator Risa Ontiveros said it best when she was talking to the sister of Alice Guo. Diba, it's not worth it. Kayo may ipit because nakakaprotekta nyo sa mas malaking isda. It's not worth it.
I was watching kaninang umaga yung video na lumabas din na yung paano siya nahuli naman sa Indonesia sa isang villa doon, 'di ba? And it was the local authorities, Indonesian local authorities na ang umaresto sa kanya. Parang ang nakita ko doon, nasa likod siya ng pintuan nakaupo bago siya tumayo.
Yes,
kinakatok siya doon sa
parang naka-jammies lang ata siya.
Nakapajama siya. Oo. So you have to remember yung ang humuli sa kanya doon ay local authorities ng Indonesia. Unlike doon sa kila Sheila and Cassandra, mga immigration yun ng Indonesia. So, sabi nga nila na upon their mga intelligence, napagmanmanan na nga nila itong si Alice Guo na palipat-lipat.
Because they were in
ng hotels, villas.
They're in close coordination kasi with the Bureau of Immigration na mula na nagkaroon ng yung nagping na may presence siya in those countries, they coordinated already.
Kaya nga yun. Pero napansin ko nga, sabi ko, pumayat siya. Pero, diba,
well,
nagpakulay siya ng buhok.
Pumayat siya, umiksi ang buhok niya, nagpakulay ng buhok. Tapos ang daming commentary, hindi lang po kami nakapansin, pati yung mga ibang radio announcer. Possibly parang may nag-iba sa mata ni...
Parang lumaki yung mata niya.
Parang lumaki yung mata niya. So, we don't know kung nag-minor procedure or what. Basta, tapos nag-diet si ate
Hindi, alam mo, feeling mo kung ganun ka din sa sitwasyon mo, baka
Stress.
mamayat ka din di ba? Pero yun nga, patawa-tawa pa siya, kaya ang daming nagagalit, di ba?
Ay.
Kasi this is someone who evaded nga yung, ang tawag dito, yung contempt ng Senate para umattend nga siya ng, ng hearing.
Okay, that's a Friday. Kinakabahan ako sa weekend. Ang dami nangyayari sa weekend.
Wala tayong makuha kasi sa interview dahil ngayon busy sila diba? Mamayang gabi pa yan mga i-interview natin.
Anyway, maganda naman yung kay Brill. We'll keep us updated. But thank you again to Buddha's Belly for this yummy, delicious brunch meal that you've sent to us and all our viewers for watching
Makain kami pag naggagap
And watch us next week. We'll see each other next week. I'd like to leave everyone with a quote for today. Do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. Desmond Tutu. Always be kind. And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. On Monday. I'm Angela Lagunsad Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One
News, all sides, all the time.
Dapat ikaw pala.